Okay, top 5 things to
All right.
watch next week.
All right. So, top 5 things to watch. So, number 5, just wanted to look. Manufacturing in the U.S. is going to shit in a handbasket, and it's just like is happening in the rest of the world. But the non-manufacturing PMI, which comes out next week, it's going to be where to watch because that's a bigger part of the economy, and it has been holding up and has not been recessionary. So, will we see the cracks in armor? Yes or no? What's your thinking?
So I've typically been on the other side of this trade, right? Like I have usually
You've been
assumed that.
calling for a weakening, right?
Yeah, I've been calling for weakening. I think I don't know. I'm gonna continue with my weakening call, Patrick. I'm
All
not
right.
getting off. I'm not getting off that bandwagon.
Do you think the market will take it badly?
Uh, nope. I do not think the market will take it back.
All right. All right. I just wanted to do a number 4 for European PMIs. Listen, we've seemed to every week talk about some goddamn European data, and every week it doesn't seem to make a difference. But it really, I think the reason why the European PMIs continue to be important, and I think I'm echoing your words that you shared before, there are some green shoots happening in Europe. And things have been really, really, really bad. And so it's not hard to go from really bad to just bad. Like, I mean, and that's where green shoots appear. And so the question, do you think we've already troughed in Europe?
Yeah, I completely think that we've troughed. I think that although I'm not very.
Do you think it'll reflect in these PMIs?
Yeah, if you made me choose like gun to my head, up or down, like versus expectations, I'd choose up over down.
Okay. All right. Do you think that reflects in higher equity prices in Europe? Do you think the Euro Stock 50 keeps plugging?
Yes, and I think as also the euro heads higher.
Wow. Strong currency, strong stock market, the whole shebang.
Yep.
And even just a shit bond market, right? As the
Well, it
greatest
was
short of
looking like
all
shit, but
time.
it actually got a bid to it recently. The last couple of days have been strong in Germany. Maybe that's a sign that I'm.
Please tell me that you're not short German bond still.
Oh, buddy, it's like a core holding. I got
Jesus Christ.
It's like
Jesus
JGBs.
Christ.
It's like
Oh my God.
JGBs. You can't call yourself a
Yeah,
member
yeah,
until
absolutely.
you lose money.
You insist on having at least one Widowmaker in your fucking portfolio every time.
Exactly.
All right. Now,
Think about how easy my life would be if I didn't have that pain.
no,
Okay, number 3.
you just love the pain.
Yeah,
All right,
that's
so
right.
so number 3, leadership sectors. All right, you know what? I wanted to touch on this because there's a couple of sectors that continue to do very well. All right, so the XLK, which is just broader technology, broken 52-week highs with authority, holding higher highs, trugging along very well. And so they have been for certain one of the areas that have done very well. Another area that's done very well is the financials, and this was an interesting one we talked about in the past as well on the show. Is that the financials really caught the bid, and they continue to work very well on the upside, and there continues to be some good momentum there. Right, so there's these sectors that are doing well. Another sector that we actually featured in this top 5 things to watch a couple weeks ago was the healthcare space. Actually, it was like a month ago, and it's actually been ripping ever since we brought it to attention. All I have to say to our listeners is, "You're welcome." No, just kidding. but it has been definitely a sector that's been doing well, and one of the big components, Johnson and Johnson, seems to have settled. And so there no longer is a headwind to the space, and so that continues to do very well. So there's these spaces that are doing well, but there are others that are complete laggards, right? And right now, you've seen almost no reaction in consumer discretionary. Consumer staples have been trading completely sideways. How the industrials have broken to a higher high. But look at the way that the miners, the S&P metals and mining ETF has been rolling up. It's like, is that a bottom? I mean, that's not even a triple bottom. That's a quadruple bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, no such thing. That's only
No such thing as. But look, it's rolling up. Will it go? So I think what even look at the way that the energy stocks are holding along the bottom. But it's interesting if you look here, the utilities have started to kind of trade sideways, and when you go to something like real estate, they seem to get very toppy, and the real estate sector is not holding in. So you got technology and semiconductors doing super well. You've got financials doing really well. A few of these industrials doing very well, but there's all of these subsectors that are just complete laggards. And now, so what will continue to be the leadership? Do you think that this, if let's just go with a little fantasy scenario because I don't want to imply it like a forecast, but let's say the S&P rips to 3,300. Let's just say we got a 10% upside move from here.
Yep.
Okay? Do you continue to believe technology and financials will be the flag bearer leadership generals in the advance?
Not technology. I think it'll be financials though.
I
think financials will do well. I think financials will do well. I think I guess home builders is too.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Stop with your home builders already. The home builders are about to have a 20% drop, so
Yeah,
that I
save you
win
for
by
your
the end of the year.
statement.
I'm just like shooting myself in the foot because now I have to cash in on this. But anyway, like so you do think financials, but you don't think technology, eh?
No.
Eh?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Do you? Do you think technology leads?
I think it's just such a huge market cap and a space that if the market's ripping, then they'll continue to be bid. I think so. But by the way, look here. This is the rare earths. Is that a bottom?
I don't know. You keep trying to bring this thing up that nobody trades and nobody cares about, and like I don't like. I'm not really sure.
This
buddy.
it's become a micro cap. Dan would agree with me. Like I mean, the market cap of this ETF is like fucking.
The only thing that looks good for is selling puts that you forget about.
All right. Any last comments on my little
No, I have
rant?
no last comments. So let's go to
All
number
right.
2.
Number 2, what the hell is going on with Apple? Now, I have a very important public announcement, service announcement to make to everybody. I have one technical indicator that that is like 100% success rate.
Yeah, but you shouldn't tell people when you fade them, like whenever they phone you up for something.
Exactly.
Is it really? Like I wasn't even kidding. You
weren't kidding. I have certain individuals.
Your mom will not be happy. Your mom is going to be upset that you're fading her on such a regular basis.
There are certain people that phone me. We'll just call them people that phone me. And this one particular people person.
But that person is going to now figure out because they phoned you on Apple.
Absolutely. They were like angry at me that I told them to sell it like $50 lower. And they gave me the flogging and the shaming, and they did so similarly as to why I didn't tell them to buy Bitcoin at 17,000 and a few other of these calls. And so whenever I get these calls, something is about to happen.
I agree. Listen, I know that all too well. I've told you numerous times that when I write an article, the more people that write me to tell me what an idiot I am, the more likely I am to double the position because the better it is.
I'm drawing these trend lines. And the reason I draw this trend line is to demonstrate velocity and momentum. And what happens is that in the tail end, as you get into the blow-off phase, things accelerate. And we're talking about a $1 trillion market cap company, right? Like this is not just someone just giving it a bid. Like this is like froth.
It's the old guy. It's my cherry coke loving octogenarian. He's buying it. He's all in.
So
I wonder if he's chasing it. I wonder if he's chasing it up here.
Let me
chasing it up here.
Let me throw this at you. There's a technical measured move that actually goes all the way to 290. And I would be curious whether this last parabolic phase tacks on 34 more bucks. And it just rips one more thing, and then it's just somewhere under $300. It becomes absolute no-brainer short.
There you go. So there you go.
No. I'm not saying that that's what I'm doing, but it would be rather convenient.
If it gets up there, you got to give it to him with both hands.
Especially if it's at 290 or 300 in less than a week or two, then it's a no-brainer. Like if it's if it's just crawling there for the next couple of months, it's different. But if it takes a week or two and we're up another $30-$40, I'm fucking shorting. Like I'm just gonna do it.
That sounds like fighting words.
It's this intellectual violence that we're drinking. I feel this
It is.
propensity
It is a little
to,
intellectual violence. That is exactly what you're going on. There you go, folks. Give it to him with both fists at 295. Measure
There you
move,
go.
some sort of dark magic or something's going on there.
All right,
Okay.
number one, energy. Now, this is a very broad thing. Not only has uranium been killed, natural gas has been recovering, but oil's been wonking around here. And we wanted to talk some energy and particularly what's happening in Canada with the elections and everything. We got so many things to cover. Let's just very quickly I'm going to use symbol uranium participation unit that Cuppy talked about when we originally thing. And was that a bottom? Like, look at that little reversal candle that came in. It went from 380 all the way back to $4 in just 2 days, right? Like, just drop and
I
pop.
don't know, man. Like.
But
you think?
I know one day doesn't make a new trend. Don't misinterpret me. Like, that's not enough
That's
information.
that looks like something that I'd be trying to catch, not you.
Yeah, but uranium's been took a leg lower. My intuition is to buy the dip. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I'm gonna join Cuppy's little fool party, but I actually think that's just a buy on dip.
I don't
Any
know. I
comments?
kind of feel like all these energy names, whether it be uranium or the oil.
Yeah, they're all stupid cheap, aren't they? It's
yeah,
just
and
crazy.
I don't know what's gonna. Like, I'm hopeful that it's gonna change, but like part of me goes back to there is no such thing as a triple bottom
All right.
with the energy.
So call me a fool, but I actually think from a seasonality perspective that nat gas can really run here. I don't think that there's another shortsellers.com out there to give it the little extra kick. but like that was the 2018 little rip,
Yeah.
right? But I think I think we can go here. I feel that we can be north of 3 and maybe 350. What's
so
your
I feel like if you're gonna own energy, you should own nat gas over like the crude oil. Like, I'd rather
Yeah.
own that, like those
Yeah.
things, and the nat gas stocks. They're all like, it's so ugly. I don't even know how to play it. This is the real problem, right? Is that all these stocks are so cheap. You want to own them and like back up the truck, but the reality is they just keep going cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And in fact,
you know,
trading
you
nat
like
gas is-
look at something like Chesapeake Energy, which is trading at $1.50, and you're like, oh, you know what? That can't get any lower. Well, no, there's a major support line. It's at 0. And
Yeah.
the
Well,
thing,
you know what?
and
Pull up
when
Pen-
it goes from $1.50 down to 50 cents, you still got slammed, right?
Yeah, so Patrick, pull up Pengrove Energy, PGF in Canada today, got taken over. Maybe I should say taken under. It was trading at 20 cents. It's getting taken out at a nickel.
What?
Yeah. Like, the reality is that these guys, it's so ugly out there, and especially in Canada. That's a whole other story. That's
From
just,
$1.30 down to 20 cents, and then gets taken out at a nickel.
yeah.
My God.
And
my
it's
God.
just unbelievable that this is just continuing, and it's painful. And I don't know if it's gonna, we could talk about Canada specifically because we seem to be doing everything we can to shoot ourselves in the foot. Like, we,
Oh,
shot
yeah.
ourselves in the foot about our energy policies before, and we decided to pull out a gun and shoot ourselves in the other foot. And I know I sound like a little bit of a West Coast crazy right winger, but the reality is that if we don't
Because
make
you
money-
are.
No, I'm not. I'm actually not. Like, and I didn't vote for them. I'll be honest with you. I didn't vote for them. I think that I had problems with them. But the reality is that if we don't figure out ways for our country to make money, and one of them is to sell energy, let's face it, that's one of our big exports, then we're going to find ourselves a lot poorer. And it just makes me mad because, as we as a country are importing, tankerfuls of oil from Saudi Arabia, where let's just say that their human rights might be a little more suspect than ours. And, in the name of, quote unquote, climate change, we're supporting another regime instead of just developing our own asset. And it just drives me absolutely bonkers, Patrick. And I can't tell you how frustrated I am with it. And I really worry about Canada's future for the short run because I don't see this getting better before it gets. I don't see it getting better before it gets worse.
Yeah, you know what? That story within Canada was crazy, right? Like,
yeah. So in Canada recently, which is basically the flagship Canadian natural gas stock has gone and moved their headquarters to the U.S.
to the States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just like headquarters, like a lot.
I mean, the very name in Canada was Energy Canada, right? Like,
yeah, they got some terrible new name. What is this new name?
Oh my God!
Let's take the time to shit all over this. 1 second. Let's get the new name. Where is it here? Because it's so bad.
Is this a symbol like IVV or something? Oh, what the hell was this symbol?
I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize that. There's also like the bow tower and
Oventive.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Oventive? Like what? How did they come up with that name?
Like, did Drake name that? What the hell is that? Like, that's a terrible name. Anyways, I'm so frustrated. I'm so disappointed. I just feel like it's really going to end badly for Canada. I'm very disappointed that this is occurring.
OVV is going to be the new symbol.
Oh, it's terrible.
OVV.
It just makes me mad. And the one thing I do think about though, Patrick, is that if I was trying to make a bullish scenario, the fact that these guys are just basically unable to produce and to find any new oil and to actually run a business is ultimately a very bullish development for the commodity over the long run. Right?
Okay.
Like, let's face it. The last thing you need, if you actually want a commodity to go up, the best thing you could have is like all the companies going bankrupt, or or them like just moving out of Canada.
Fair enough.
The only thing that I can tell you is that the only part that gives me solace is the fact that all of this oil is still going to be there when they come back 10 years from now and are drilling it then, right? When we finally get our act together
So okay, let's just circle back to oil. Yeah, good point though. I like that was funny. But you still think that oil cracks 52, 51?
Yeah. So I do. I don't think there is such a thing as a triple bottom. Like, I think it's.
I'll take the other side of that.
Really?
You want to take a little Duke and Duke here?
Patrick, I'm such a long-term energy bull that I find myself.
No. This is why I'm not. This is why I'm not making it a stake bet. Like, you know what, Duke and Duke is something that you can tolerate.
Duke and Dukes are important to me.
Okay, so how about a burger? How about a burger then?
No, but it's not just that. Like, it's anything. I don't want to bet if I think it's going higher. I just scared. And listen, the fact that I'm so scared about this is probably a sign that you should be buying it. Because
hence
go back to Don
I'm
Cox.
ready to take the other side.
Yeah, Don Cox says those who know it best love it least because they've been burned the worst. That's a great line. He's a famous Canadian strategist. I feel like maybe I'm going to be suffering from that because I do find myself like wanting to buy this shit.
So you here are goading our listeners
I'm not
into
goading
like
anyone.
this
I'm basically
No, you're
just
goading them. You're goading them because you're telling them there's no such thing as a triple bottom, making them all go short oil, but you don't have the balls to put $1 on the table.
No, because it's very important to me.
Duke.
No, it's very important to me.
Right now, listen.
I won't do that. I won't bet against
you
oil.
Right
I won't
now,
bet against oil.
Then you turn around and say there is such a thing as triple bottoms.
No, I'm just saying I'm waiting to buy it
right now,
cheaper.
Say it right now. Say there is a triple bottom and it's in oil right now. Say it or take the bet. Pick one.
Okay, so what's the bet? What's the bet? What do you want to bet?
I say oil will not break below 51, 52.
Like 50. What do you mean 51?
All the lows. So the June,
Give me a specific
August.
Price.
51. We will not be below 51 for the rest of this year.
Wow. Okay, sold. Okay, I'll
All
take
right.
it.
There we
Okay,
go.
I
love it. I love it.
I'll do a burger. I'll do a burger.
Burger? Because you don't want to insult.
I have
the
two of them. I have like two of them in store that you owe me, so I'll just
All right,
give
there
one
you
back.
go. All right.